Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. We're going to go over some laws today. We'll start with moral laws. We have moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws. We're going to look at these laws. Very important that we know them, we learn them, we live them, and we apply them in our life. Very important. We have moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws. The law of sacrifice was done away with, and Mashiach gave his precious blood up for the children of Israel, for our sakes. So it's very important that we look at these laws and we come back to following the Most High's laws to know what pleases him, to please him. Because if you don't follow what he say do, then how are you going to please him? If you don't know what he say to do, how are you going to please him at all? You don't even have a clue. Most people make up their own way of how they serve the Most High. And it's not according to, thus say the Most High. That's the only way you know him is what he says. He gave us rules and regulations, which is his laws, statutes, commandments. No and ifs or buts about it. It's just you do what I say, or you're not my children. You're not my child. You don't belong to me. You belong to somebody else. And you hopefully that one that you belong to is not Shaitan, because who else do you have to go to? If you're not dealing with the Most High, then who you dealing with? So let's look at a little moral laws. Let's look at Exodus, laws on idolatry and worshiping other idols first. Exodus 20 and 3. Exodus 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, which we say idols, because all the gods of the nations are idols when you read Psalms 96 and 5. Because either you belong to the God of the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I don't even like saying God because that's a name that they placed here because it's dog spelled backwards. Mashiach called the Gentiles and the Israelites, matter of fact, called them dogs because of their profaneness and because of their homosexuality, which it says in the Unger's Bible Dictionary. So Psalms 96 and 5 says, for all the gods or the powers of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens, because they worship things in the sky. They worship all kind of things. This day and time is more things than ever was worshipped at all in the world. So once again, Exodus 20 and 3 says, thou shalt have no other idols before me. It says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. And this is key here, verse 4. It says, thou shalt not make thee verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. So you're not supposed to bow down to anything that you have made on this earth, from an image in heaven and earth or under the earth. You're supposed to bow down and worship them, it says. Nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Okay? And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So here it clearly tells you if you love him, you're going to do what he say. You're going to keep his commandments. Mashiach Yahushua said the same thing to us in the Gospels, in John 14 and 15. The same thing, John 14 and 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. I mean, if you love him, keep his laws. Keep the laws. Same thing in See, people got to have this love. I love you, but do you really love? Because first thing you got to do is love the Most High, love of Mashiach Yahushua. This is love. 1 John 5:3. For this is love of the Most High. For this is the love of the Most High, excuse me. That we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous, so you ain't supposed to be sad about doing what's right. Something wrong with someone that's going to cry or that's going to have a problem with doing what's right. Because it's telling you that his commandments are not grievous. You ain't supposed to feel bad about learning what's right and doing what's right. 2 John is just the next book over, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. You got to walk in these commandments. Go to the book Ecclesiastes, right after Proverbs. Ecclesiastes, the very last chapter, 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It's the whole duty of man. To fear the Most High and keep his commandments. So, you had a world saying, well, I can do like I want to do as long as I follow my heart. I just say, follow your heart. Jeremiah 17:9. Most High just said the way we're supposed to operate, and that's follow his commandments. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. You hear that? It say the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's your mind. The way you think. The way you think can be desperately wicked. And it's deceitful above all things. That means your mind can play tricks on you if you're not in the spirit of these scriptures. Learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. It's very important. Proverbs 3 and 5. It says, trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. That's when you start to trust in the Most High with all your mind, soul, and strength, and you realize that you're not going to lean on the way you think. Because remember, the heart, which is the mind, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. That's why it says when you go into that wickedness, because you have disregarded, well, how do the Most High feel about this? How do the Most High feel about that? And you want somebody to feel the way you feel because of the way you think in following what it is that we read here in Ecclesiastes 3 and 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Remember, it said the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. It said, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. You be lied to, you lying to yourself. You deceiving yourself by your own worthless opinion, the way you think. And an evil suspicion hath overthrown the judgment. So you start thinking about something, and you start believing it because you allow that evil to come in, like we went over last night about how the spirits can come down and get into the minds of people. We're dealing with morality here. Spirits come down and working for Satan, and they come down and they transform themselves into your mind so you think wrong. So if you think wrong, you're going to speak wrong, you're going to act wrong. There's no way that you're going to say you're going to be on point. You're not going to be on point. Because you're thinking wrong, you're speaking wrong, and you're going to act wrong. Only way you're going to think right is to think, thus said the Most High, according to his word. You have those that don't know, that want you to follow how they think, and that's why a lot of people are deceived by their own vain opinion. Listen, 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. It says, for such, 2 Corinthians 11 and 13, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers. Remember? The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown their judgment. For such are false apostles. No matter who it is trying to teach you or trying to come to you with their understanding, their opinion. You know about opinion, what they say about opinion, right? It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, meaning they're lying workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach, acting like they really dealing with a Mashiach and don't even really know him. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose ends shall be according to their works. Most High going to deal with them. He's going to deal with them because their works are going to show forth those that understand and receive this truth for what it is, and not following some vain opinion of an evil suspicion that have overtaken someone. That's what happens. Evil comes down here. It's right here because the world is in evil. The world is operating in the evil perspective. So therefore, what do you think? That's why you got to be endowed with this word to overcome the wiles of the devil. Otherwise, you're going to be caught up in it. Proverbs 3. And 7. Proverbs 3 and 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. So I say many are deceived by their own vain opinion. They think they're wise in their own eyes. Fear the Most High and depart from evil. So you want to depart from evil. It shall be health to thy neighbor. Wonder why a lot of people are sick and they really going through all kind of changes because they don't fear the Most High. They're not morally right. They have departed from evil. They're allowing evil to overtake them, and they believe the evil that's being told in their minds that's contrary to the word of the Most High. Now, how are you with the Most High if you don't even know what the Bible says? You ain't studying, and if you can't really communicate with the Most High and with your fellow brother concerning thus said the Most High, then how you rolling with? That's why it says, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. You know, that's why you got to look at this, because you're looking at trying to accomplish the things you're trying to accomplish, whatever it is, your own way, without really looking at trusting in the Most High and looking at what the Most High want rather than what you want. Most people pray and they go into this Bible to look for something for themselves. What about whatever you can do for the Most High? Whatever you can do for Hamashiach Yahushua? The things that he say, do, that you can say hallelujah to him because he's getting the honor. He's getting the praise for everything. Should be praised for everything. But a lot of people just think, okay, well, it happened now. It's on them. They're the ones that made it happen. No, it's the Most High. And that's like I said, if you fear the Most High, which is the beginning of knowledge of the Most High, you fear him, so it's going to add marrow to the bone. I mean, that's the ultimate. That's why you look at Hebrews 4 and 12. This is what this word does. For the word of the Most High is quick. It's quick and powerful. You shouldn't have to be thinking about talking about the Most High, talk about Hamashiach Yahushua, confessing him. This is morally right. The word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. A two-edged sword that cuts you this way and that way, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, your body even to your spirit. That's how the word is. How you see some people, they react a certain way from the word. Because it's from it goes into their body to their spirit. Quick and powerful, like a two-edged sword. piercing even to dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints of the marrow. That's the marrow of the bone. That's in between your bones. And is the discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, of the mind. You hear that? That's what the word of the Most High does. That's why we got to be locked in. Totally. To see this. That's why I look at St. John, the 6th chapter, in the 63rd verse. St. John 6 and 63. Say, it is the spirit that quickeneth. So some people don't have a spirit. Because remember, the word of the Most High is what? It's quick and powerful. It is the spirit. The spirit is the spirit of the Most High that quickeneth. That's quick. If you have the Holy Spirit. The flesh profiteth nothing. So your carnal mind flesh profiteth nothing. Which is your flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. You hear that? The words that he's speaking to us in the volume of the book, they are spirit and they are life. But there are some of you, he said, that believe not. For Mashiach Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. Because you had those that's going to betray him. He knew who they were. He said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. So you can't just say you want to do this. You want to come to him. Unless the Most High calls you. The Most High have to call you to him. This is not something that's just given to everyone. The Most High is the one that's going to call you to a Mashiach Yahushua. Listen, in verse 37. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. So the Most High have to give you to a Mashiach Yahushua. So how can the Most High give you to a Mashiach Yahushua if you don't know the Most High? You don't know our Father, our Heavenly Father, Abba, Yahweh, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How you going to come to him, to a Mashiach Yahushua, if you don't know how to get to the Most High? You say, all that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. So I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me. The Most High sent him to the earth for this purpose, that of all which he hath given me, all that the Most High has given of Mashiach Yahushua, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And here we are now being raised up in these last days, believing in the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. And honoring him with everything. Once again, verse 39. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son, Mashiach Yahushua, and believing on him may have eternal or everlasting life. And I will raise him up at the last day. The Jews didn't murmur at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. He said that in verse 35. And Mashiach Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you that ye also have seen me and believe not. See, a lot of them seen him, they didn't believe him. Israelites, they didn't believe in him. Just like it is today. 2/3 of our people, they're not going to really believe in him. They just going about doing whatever they do and think they can escape the judgment of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, but the Most High going to deal with them. Some people are going to wish to die, it says, and they're not going to be able to die because he's going to have them suffer. One thing about it, I'll tell you, any of you that hear my voice and have heard my voice and have heard the truth coming from the Hebrew Israelites, and you bypass it like it's nothing, Most High going to get you. He's going to get you. Verse 41, the Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Mashiach Yahushua, the son of Joseph? Y'all hear that? This not a Mashiach Yahushua, the son of Joseph? And he said the son of Mary, he said the son of Joseph, whose father and mother, who was Mary, we know. How is it that then he said, I came down from heaven? Mashiach Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him. That's how you come to a Mashiach Yahushua. The Most High got to draw you to a Mashiach Yahushua. But how the Most High going to draw you to a Mashiach Yahushua if you don't even know the Father? They said, no man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of the Most High. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Father cometh unto me. Not that any man have seen the Father, save he that which is of the Father, the Most High, he hath seen the Father. Verily I say to you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. So we have to believe on him because we can't get to the Most High unless we go through him. He said in John 14:6. But he answered and said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. St. John 14:6. Mashiach Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. So you have to know how to get to the Most High through him. Then the Most High going to show you of a Mashiach Yahushua. Because the Mashiach Yahushua got to come back and show us of the Father. Because that's why we know in part and prophesy in part. Concerning the Most High, nobody really knows the Most High. I mean, anybody that said that they do, you better think again, you better question them. You better really question them saying they know the Most High. What if Mashiach Yahushua going to come back and show us of the Father for 1,000 years? They already know him. I don't think so. Isaiah 55:8. Say, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. This is what the Most High said. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Most High. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, we know the heavens, the sky is way higher than the earth, and the fourth dimension is way higher than the sky, the ozone layer, or the firmament, or the sky. It says, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. See that? So we just know in part and prophesy in part concerning the Most High. We don't really know him like we should. Proverbs 28 and 26. Proverbs 28 and 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. You that trust in your own mind, you're a fool. But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. How do you walk wisely? By following the way of the Most High. Following the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You're going to be delivered. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, the 5th verse. Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Now, how are these nations going to think that we're wise and understanding when we out there buck wild, doing everything under the sun that you can think of and can't think of, unimaginable, wicked things, that they're going to think that we are wise and understanding people. But the ones that are following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They can't gainsay on it. The ones that's bringing forth, that are studied to be able to bring forth the truth to whoever it is that come forth with their understanding, vain opinion. And you know these scriptures, you know what the Most High says here, we stand on that. You can stand on this. Thus said the Most High. Because what did Satan do when the Mashiach Yahushua was weak? Them fasting for 40 days, 40 nights, coming to him all the time, knowing he was weak. Hey, you go turn that stone into bread. You the son of the Most High, let me see you do that. Tempting him, you know. Tell him to jump off a pinnacle or whatever. The angel gonna hold him up in their hands. Just tempting him. Just like we have to be tempted. Just like he was tempted, we have to be tempted. But what did he do? He came back to the laws of the Most High. He came back to the Spirit of the Most High. Because he was filled with the Holy Spirit. He gave Satan the word of the Most High. And what does Satan have to do? He have to leave. That's why you don't know the word of the Most High. You got no defense against Satan. That's what Mashiach Yahushua did as an example to show us how to rebuke the devil with the word of the Most High. Listen. Verse 7, Deuteronomy 4 and 7. For what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh, so near unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for? You hear that? No nation, because we read in Psalm 96 and 5, for all the nations, all the gods of the nations are idols. He's dealing with idolatry, not the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So morally, we understand that we have a position with the Most High. That's what it says. Verse 8, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? No other nation. That's why we're set up to teach everyone the true laws of the Most High. How we're supposed to be to please him. Verse 9, only take heed to thyself. He said, take heed to yourself, pay attention to yourself, and keep thy spirit diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen. Just like some of you reading these scriptures right now, you go along with what's coming out through the messenger of the Most High. And you forget about it. Once it goes in your ear, goes out the other ear, next thing you know what it's about. Or you can't really recall what it is that you have heard or what you have read. That's why I say only take heed to thyself and keep thy spirit diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. See? This is what he told us to do. And it's still in effect today. When you look at Psalm 78 and 5. It haven't changed, people. Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that's our forefathers, that they should make them known to their children. We just read that. That the generation to come might know them, might know these laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. Do what he say do. It might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. Verse 10, they kept not the covenant of the Most High, refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their forefathers, or their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoar. all the things that he done, who's talking about the things that the Most High done? I bet you one thing, I bet you they're going to talk about what the Most High do when he destroy all these kingdoms this time instead of righteousness on this earth. We talk about that forever and ever and ever. Nobody's talking about all the things. That's what he goes into, all the things that he done. All the things that he done that still should be told to the children. But who's talking about this? They can't even talk about the Bible in the schools. Can't even open up the Bible in the school. Can't even pray in the schools. So you take the Most High, the Mashiach out of the schools, point blank, that's just one entity of this wicked world. Who you leaving there? You leaving Satan and the devil. That's what most people don't know anything about, the Most High and the marvelous things that he done. They telling you Gentiles, so how does it conclude in your mind that it even involves you if it happened to the so-called Jewish people, who are not the Israelites, who is not the people that was in Egyptian captivity, that came out of the Egyptian captivity, who the Most High is talking about here. He divided the sea in verse 13 and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand up as a heap. This not them, this us, the true ethnic and biblical Jews. This happened to us. I mean, come on. Too many things that we can go in here to prove that it wasn't them. They had nothing to do with this. They are Edomites. They are Amalekites or Amalekites, whichever name you want to use. That's who they are. Esau's grandson through his son Eliphaz. So that's a fact. So this is all about us, but we don't know because we've been programmed to think that we're Gentiles as a people and not Hebrew Israelites. And as a Hebrew Israelite, oh, that's something wrong. Yeah, any way, shape, or form they could do to discredit the fact of the truth, because they a bunch of liars from the womb, as it says in Psalms 58:3. They're going to do it. And what our people do, they follow it. I mean, they so programmed, they think, oh, the white man said, oh, it got to be true. Give me a break. Come on. Come on. Are you serious? They said, we come for peace when they came to America, right? And gave all them diseases to the indigenous people that was here. Children of Israel that was here. Through smallpox, through blankets and all that. You know about that. You know about their history, their story, but what about our story? So he divided the sea and caused them to pass through. And he made the waters to stand as an heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted the Most High in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Yeah, we got to have some meat. But they can't bring no meat to us out here in this wilderness. Yeah, they spake against the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. They said, can the Most High Mashiach Yahushua furnish a table in the wilderness? This is Israel. Behold, he smote the rock that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Wasn't satisfied with that. We want some water. Gave him the water. Can he bring bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Most High heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel. Now how you think the Most High gonna love us right now, our people gonna love us, and he's did all these marvelous things, even the marvelous things that he's done to us so far as bringing us out of slavery unto this day, and we still don't respect him. Still act like he's not important. But understand, when all this is about the Most High being all in all, no more or no less. It's about the Most High. You can get it all twisted if you want to, think about Israel if you want to. You better understand it's about the Most High. Straight up. No more, no less. He's the one that's going to be exalted. He's the one going to get the exaltation forever and ever and ever. Just like it's saying here, we read about what he did through his power to get him a name in the earth. Everybody knew about the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when this happened. And here it is. We've seen all these miracles that he's done in the land of Egypt. And he didn't do anything to us. We were safe, and he was dealing with them Egyptians, with all these plagues he put upon them. And here we are, morally dysfunctional. Because we didn't even think about it. And still to this day, most don't even think about how powerful the Most High is. That's why we require a sign. That's why you always bring a sign. Burn something up. Make volcanoes erupt. Hurricanes. You know, earthquakes in different places. Places where they never had earthquakes before. Oh yeah, when you feel it shaking, yeah, everybody start calling on the Most High then. Hurricanes and tornadoes. You know, just a little bit. You're just showing off a little bit. Just a little. Look. Verse 21. Psalm 78 and 21. Therefore the Most High heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the Most High and trusted not in his salvation. Just like right now, that's why he's going to take us to the wilderness, and some still not going to believe in his salvation. He's going to purge out the rebels, get rid of them. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full, filled them up, filled us up. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow into heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. Did what the Most High did. So they did eat and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them. All you that like to eat a lot, ain't one's complaining. Say he slew the fattest of them. Verse 31, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. He started killing them, they still didn't believe, just like it is now. No matter what happens, a tragedy happens to our people, they be all up in arms, all in uproar, ready to do something. Next thing you know, in a few weeks, back to normal, back to dead state of mind. Just where we were way back then, still the same way now. Say, for all this that the Most High did, they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him. When he started killing them, then he woke them up. Then they want to call on him. And they returned and inquired early after the Most High. And they remembered that the Most High was, and the Mashiach Yahushua was their rock, and the high power their redeemer. The Most High is a high power their redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth. Yeah, praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. B'Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. Hear that? They lied to the Most High. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant, in his laws that following his laws, statutes, commandments. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yeah, many a time turned he his anger away. Hear that? Many times he turned his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. He didn't stir up all his wrath. Think about it. Many times the Most High done turned his way around from any of us. And knowing you did something that's wrong. And the Most High didn't punish you. Turn it away to this day. For remember that they were but flesh. Remember that we were just flesh. A wind that passes away and cometh not again. You hear that? Wow, we just like a wind that passes away and cometh not again. Dang. A wind that comes, you feel a wind go by? That's it. That wind is gone. You feel it come in, it's gone. He said, remember that we was nothing but flesh. But yet still, we're going to think we all that. You hear what he said? For he remembered that they were but flesh. A wind that passes away. Because this flesh, once you die, it goes back to the dirt. It ain't coming back. The Most High send your spirit back with another body, another fleshly body, not the same body. Say, a wind that passes away and cometh not again. Say, how often did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yeah, he's screaming at us. Say, yeah. They turned back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. Put limitations on him. As we just read, they remembered not his hand. They ain't remember Mashiach Yahushua, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. When he killed Pharaoh, rolling with his men on his chariots, drowned them in the Red Sea. And it was coming back to take us into captivity again, or to kill us. How he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them, to the Egyptians, not to the Israelites. And all these things were happening, and we were safe. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locusts. Had the caterpillars and locusts eat everything up, eat up their crops. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts, lightning coming down, kill them. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. You understand? That's just the power that we serve. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt. That's when Pharaoh let us go. The chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham. That you know the Egyptians are from the seed of Ham, and we are not. We're from the seed of Shem. But made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safely, so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies. The sea covered up Pharaoh and his chariots. They're in a museum right now in Cairo, Egypt, to let you know that the story is true. And he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to the mountain which his right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. You hear that? He cast these other nations out before us, and gave them their lands by a line or a borderline, as do he gave the children of Israel, who we are, our land. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High power, and kept not his testimonies. Didn't want to continue to follow his laws, but turned back instead of going forward. Went backwards and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow. For they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images that they made, and they bowed down and worshiped. That's what he said. You're not supposed to bow down and worship to anything that you make from heaven, any image that you can make from heaven and the earth, under the earth. You're supposed to make nothing and bow down and worship. When the Most High heard this, he was wroth. He was wroth. And greatly outpoured Israel. When he heard this, he was very angry. And he greatly hated us. Abhorred means he hated us. So that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, peace, the tent which he placed among men, and delivered his strength into captivity, and his glory into the enemy's hands. So he looked at us. Man, as his strength and as his glory. He gave his people over also unto the sword, and was wroth with his inheritance, children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. So they were passed around through all these different nations. You wasn't given to marriage. The Most High looking at you women being married to your men of the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation, could even cry. Then the Most High awakened as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouteth by reason of wine, and he smote his enemies in the hinder parts. He put them to a perpetual reproach, disgrace. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph and chose not the tribe of Ephraim. That's the tribe that Joseph was from. But chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. To let you know, because Ephraim was the head tribe of the northern tribes, and Judah was the head tribe of the southern tribes. Judah, the so-called Negroes today, Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans today. But chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his sanctuary with like high places, like the earth, which he had established forever. He chose David, also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the ewes, great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob, his people, and Israel, his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. So that's how it shows us and tells us in the spirit how the Most High did all these things, and Israel just forgot about it. As it is today. Nobody really looking at the Most High like they should, because they're following the way of the heathen. They're following the way that the Most High said don't follow. They're caught up in that. Baruch, in the Apocrypha, 4th chapter, the 1st verse. Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. See, it's the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. That means everlasting life. But such as leave it shall die. So, if you keep the commandments, you have an opportunity to come to everlasting life, if you endure unto the end. It says, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Take hold of this law. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. So we're supposed to be looking after these other nations. We've got to look after ourselves. First and foremost. To teach ourselves these laws of the Most High before it's too late. It's very, very important, brothers and sisters, that we see this for what it is and don't allow these entities in these last days to stray you away from what's right. Look at Exodus 22nd chapter. Y'all still with me? Exodus 22nd chapter and 20th verse. Exodus 22 and 20, it says, "He that sacrifices unto any god, save unto the Most High only, he shall be utterly destroyed." So we got to sacrifice to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why we pray by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, going to the Most High through Mashiach Yahushua, to give him honor and praise. Exodus 23 and 13. "In all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth." This is very important, brothers and sisters, because the world is set up so that we call on their gods, even the days of the week, the months of the year, and so forth. Just for starters, this is what we're doing. And now that you understand and know this, you just have to work on trying not to allow them to have you calling on their idols. They're not named after us. And if they were, it'd still be wrong. Is someone going to look at themselves as a god? Anyone that's taken the place of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is an idol. It's an idol, and it's not morally right. Look at Leviticus 20 and 13. Leviticus 20 and 13. "If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them." That's a man lying with another man. So that's a filthy, wicked act. That's an abomination. That's a filthy, wicked sin. You say both of them shall be put to death, the one given and one received. Their blood shall be upon them, it says. Leviticus 18 and 22. "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination." That's what it says. For two men to lie down together and have sexual intercourse, it's an abomination. It says they shall surely be put to death. They're not going to the kingdom. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. And this world is allowing men and men to get married and women to get married. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Or they'll say in quick and fast, well, everybody sin, but every sin is not to the point of being put to death, or a sin that you're not going to make it to the kingdom. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?" Once again, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, that's men that's like women, you know, they act like women, have an effeminate type of character, they're not masculine, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. That's talking about homosexuality, men with men. They're not going to the kingdom. So this is their world right now. And it's a diabolical plan to take the black man and make him effeminate. Be effeminate to the point where they can have him put on skirts and dresses and so forth. And be like a woman. Or are women not standing up and looking at the brothers in a real way, because these brothers putting on dresses, man. They putting on, I mean, look how they do it. Hollywood has got brothers putting on dresses left and right. Just a moment. So this is it. This is it right here. This is their world right now. This is their world. Once again, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. So they ain't inherit the kingdom of heaven. Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And such were some of you, but ye are washed. I mean, you cleaned up because you have repented and became a new creature, became a new man or woman, and been born again according to the word, learning it, living it, and applying it in your life when the book is closed. That's what's important, because a lot of you can be righteous as ever while the book is open, but once the book is closed, then what's the word on you then? You got to look at yourself and not offending as much and not having to apologize as much. When you got to apologize a lot, something's wrong. Something's wrong. That's why I say, and such were some of you. Such are some of you still, because you have not taken on the true spirit of the Most High to know how you should change and repent and become a new creature. Be born again. Become a new man or a new woman. But such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, but ye are justified by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, and by the Spirit of the Most High, through the Holy Spirit. Say, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. That's why you have to give people an opportunity to get it together. But how long is too long? I mean, you keep doing the same thing. You've been doing the same thing. You've done the same thing in the 2000s. Now here it is, 2000 to 2020. You're still doing the same thing. You're still getting caught up in the same thing. You need help. Realize it. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Always been like this. So you always been what it is. You say, this ain't you. All things, it says, and verse 11, and such were some of you, but ye are washed. You ain't been washed clean yet. It has stuck some of you in there. Got you in there, whoo, got your head in your chest, whoo, bring them out. From your waist on down, it's still filthy McNasty. Filthy McNasty. Just put part of you in there. Bring them on out. Can't wash this sucker all the way through, shoot. Because you still haven't been washed. Don't want to be washed. Kicking and fighting and everything. All thing you do is stick your head down to your waist, bring them back up. Because you're still kicking and fighting against the pricks, man. You're kicking against the spirit of the Most High that want to wash us up. You want to clean us up. The word cleans you up, but the word has no effect if you don't apply it in your life. You don't know how to, the proper application of knowledge is wisdom. If you don't know how to do that, then what good is it? What good is it? If you don't know how to apply it. That's what this is all about. Verse 12 says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Why did he say that? He could say that, truthfully say that. Because it says in 1 Corinthians 2:15, and you got to learn to live and apply it in your life. When you apply this in your life, then you can say this. Because a lot of men use this, but necessarily not true, because next thing you know, they messing up. It says, and they be judged. It says, 1 Corinthians 2:15, but he that is spiritual judges all things. You're able to judge all things according to what? Thus say the Most High. Yet he himself is judged of no man. Now, you ain't going to be judged of no man if you operating in the spirit of the Most High and doing what's right. If you're doing what's wrong, you're going to be judged. It tells you in Matthew 7:1. This is how you're going to be judged. We all going to be judged. You do something wrong, you're going to be judged like this. Matthew 7:1. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, and most of us, we going to judge by what? Thus say the Most High, the word, ye shall be judged. You're going to be judged. We all going to be judged by the same way. That's why it's very important to be on point according to thus say the Most High and live your life righteously to the best of your ability. It says, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. So the same way you want to judge somebody, same way we're going to be judged. Same way you want to measure somebody, you're going to be measured the same way. By what? Thus say the Most High, his word. And why beholdest thou the mote in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thine own eye? You know, hear men that went into brothers, next thing you know, find out they messed up. Especially these preachers, man. A lot of them, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It always was wrong. They just got caught. Look at these priests, man, having sex with these little boys, altar boys. And they done lived throughout their life, messed up all through that their life. Because they've been tampered with. They don't even know if they're a man or a woman. They don't know what they want to be. Because these priests, so-called Catholic priests, will mess with them. And they coming out, you know, when they had that scandal. But what happened to those priests? Did they ever get sentenced to prison as they would a pedophile that's outside of being in the Catholic Church? They only have their own government. Why is it that they never was persecuted and prosecuted as such? All the men came out and said they was persecuted. They was defiled by these priests, you know, when they were young. Some 30, some 40 years, maybe longer than that. Remember, once one came out, they all started coming out of the closet, saying these things. So the same way you're going to be judged, same way they're going to be trying to judge somebody, same way you're going to be judged. He's saying, why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thine own eye? So we've got to look at ourselves, do a self-examination, and look at what you're doing wrong. That's why they always say, well, that sin is dark worse than that. You sin too. They always, most especially are homosexual, they always bring that up. Well, one sin is not worse than the other. Yes, it is. Some sins are to death, like laying down with another man, because that's confusion. You wouldn't even be in the world if your daddy lay with another man or your mama lay with another woman. None of us be in the world. They say, how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye. That's why a lot of brothers get caught up. And they always been judging this way and that. Next thing you know, bam, something come out, and bam, you all sad and solemn because now you busted. But you've been playing like you all righteous now. You got to hold your head down and take the blow of the blunt of the blow, because it's coming. Believe. Most High, he see everything. They say, thou hypocrite. Call you a hypocrite. First cast out the beam out of thine own eye. Do a self-examination of ourselves And then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. That's right. Thus say the Most High through a Mashiach Yahushua. But if we don't look at this for what it is, to clean ourselves up, as it says in John 17:17, and stay this way, not just, like I say, what's the word on you when the book is closed? Because a lot of people, they hold it now. They know the scriptures. They can go here, there, everywhere. But then when the book is closed, now you turn into some kind of beast, man. You turn into, mainly dealing with lust, man. That's one of the biggest demons that Satan is working with, lust, that lust demon. John 17:7, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So this is how we be cleaned up. Ephesians 5:26. This is how we clean ourselves up. Through the word of the Most High. But it's got to affect you. Like I say, it's quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. But if you don't allow it to sharpen you up, you don't allow it to penetrate your spirit, then you still will be the same old man. Ain't no difference in you. You're the same person. You're still morally unright. That's why we're trying to learn morally righteous acts that will please the Most High. Ephesians 5:26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That he might sanctify and cleanse it by the washing of water by the word. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Following the word of the Most High. St. John 8:32. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So when you know the truth was the learning the laws of the Most High, you're going to become free of all the ignorance of the world, the darkness of this world, the gross darkness of the people, gross ignorance of the people. Romans 1:25. Romans the 1st chapter and the 25th verse. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Yeah. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? The son of perdition, the one that came on the earth, and evil was multiplied on the earth when they came into power. When you read 1 Maccabees, when the Greeks came into power, the Europeans came into power, it says, then evils multiplied on the earth, 1 Maccabees 1:9. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, meaning women with women. Women laying down with women. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust, one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meet, which was right. Men with men. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind, good for nothing, mind, to do those things which are not convenient. That's right, man. So, these are the things that we're looking at that we have to change. We have to be the ones that make the change. We have to be the ones that desire to change without any ifs or buts about it. We do it. We apply these laws in our life. And don't get caught up in what it is that the world says is okay, which is not okay. But this is Israel. And you shouldn't be this. Hopefully it's not you. That's why we have to do a self-examination of ourselves to see if we're morally right. Jeremiah 3. Salakia. Ezekiel 3. Ezekiel 3 and 4. Ezekiel 3 and 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language. Hey, you ain't going to the people that don't understand English. You're not going to the people that understand whatever language the Israelites are predominantly speaking. The Most High have them coming together speaking those languages. So you ain't going to a nation, a strange nation that has a hard language. No, you're going to the house of Israel that understand what it is that's being said. Say, not too many people of a strange speech or of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent you to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. If you'd have sent us to these other nations, they'd have listened. Letting them know that they the children of Israel? Oh yeah, they'd have listened. But Israel, what does it say about Israel? But the house of Israel would not hearken unto thee. Say, a lot of y'all not going to listen. For they will not hearken unto me. Say, you won't even listen to the Most High. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Say, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. Our minds strong against their foreheads, because their minds. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Say, though Israel be a rebellious house. So he had to make our foreheads like adamant, harder than flint. Wow. Say, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people. And we in captivity now. And speak unto them, and tell them, thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So you're going to hear it whether you like it or not. He's telling us what we have to do as the leaders in reaching out to our people, whether they hear or forbear. Our people are very rebellious, very, very rebellious. Look at Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, and the 18th verse. It says, when the righteous turneth from his righteousness. Ezekiel 33 and 18. When the righteous turneth from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, he shall even die thereby. You hear that? So we're learning to be righteous, and we're considered the righteous. It says, but when the righteous turneth from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, he shall even die thereby. But if the wicked turn from his wickedness and do that which is lawful and right, he shall live thereby. So if you turn from your wickedness and do what's right, you're going to live in righteousness, following the laws of the Most High, his rules and regulations. Yet ye say, the way of the Most High is not equal. O ye house of Israel, I will judge you every one after his ways. He's going to judge everybody after their ways. And that's you can look at that in 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. Say, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. That's it right there. Whether you done what was righteous in the eyes of the Most High or wicked in the eyes of the Most High. Say, knowing therefore the terror of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, we persuade men. But we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciences, that you think about this and allow it to remain in your mind. Verse 17, therefore if any man be in Bahashem Mashiach Yahushua, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. So that means you can't be that same old person. that you've always been. Behold, all things are become new. And all things are of the Most High, who have reconciled us to himself by Hamashiach Yahushua, by him shedding his blood on that tree for the atonement of our sins, and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Give us the opportunity to come back to him. To wit, that the Most High was in Hamashiach Yahushua, reconciling the world unto himself. That world is the world of Israel. We read Isaiah 45 and 17. Not imputing their trespasses unto them, and have committed unto us the word of reconciliation, that we can come back to the Most High, because he turned his back on us. He gave us over to our enemies, because we didn't want to follow him. So you're going to follow this nation that I'm going to give you, or these nations that I'm going to give to you, your enemies. Until this day. Romans 10 and 13. It says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of Mashiach Yahushua, or Bahashem Mashiach Yahushua, shall be saved. Say, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? A proper preacher that's going to teach you of him according to the word of the Most High, and not according to what comes off the top of their dome. Why, this is our people. Verse 2. For I bear them record. Who is this? Verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. That they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, and they know how to call on the Most High, but not according to knowledge, because they don't have a fear of the Most High, which is the beginning of knowledge. That's why he's saying what he's saying here in verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Elias said, Mashiach Yahushua, who have believed our report? Isaiah. It's Isaiah. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. So if you don't hear the word of the Most High, you let it go in one ear and out the other, then you don't have faith. Because faith comes by hearing, and what you got to hear, the word of the Most High, not what some man have to say. That's why he said in Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Most High forbid. Yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and might have overcome when thou art judged. So that's what time it is. And that's what it's all about. You know, being prepared for what it is that is going to go down, people, before it's too late. So let the Most High be true and every man a liar. Because he's bringing it on. It's just a matter of where we're going to be at when he brings on his judgment. Leviticus 26 and 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear up you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Most High your power. A lot of people, they look at everything as an idol, but it's clear here that you're not supposed to set up anything and bow down to it. That's what you have a problem with. Ye shall make no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Most High your power. So when you look at, we wasn't with that. We wasn't about, bowing down to any image in any captivity. Let's look at an example of this in Daniel, the book of Daniel. Let's look at Daniel, the first chapter. Bear with me for a second. Okay, Daniel's the third chapter. Verse 1.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon.
Right, so Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold, and he set it up, set this big image of gold up, after Daniel had gave him the understanding of the dream that he had about the kingdoms that would come into power in Daniel's second chapter. Go ahead.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up.
Right, so he called all his counselors, governors, princes, and so forth, treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, all of them, to come and look at this image that he had set up. Read.
Then the princes, the governors and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together into the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Right, so they stood up in front of this image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Read.
Then an herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages."
Then the herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages." Read.
That at that time ye hear the sound.
At what time? At what time?
It's like that. At what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up.
Right. So when you hear this music, you hear the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, dulcimer, And all kinds of music, you should fall down and worship this image that Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Read.
And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
That's right. If you don't bow down when you hear this music, then you're going to be cast into a burning fiery furnace. Go ahead.
Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, suckbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up.
See, all the nations are always going to do whatever there is that's dealing with idolatry. Why? Hope that gets Psalm 96 and 5. This is why they're going to do that. I mean, it's just another idol. This is why they would do that. Read that.
Psalm chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
So all the gods of the nations are idols. That's why they naturally would do that, because just another idol added to the idols that they already be serving. Go back there to Daniel 3 and 7.
Daniel chapter 3.
Verse 6 first.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Right, so we have this burning fiery furnace waiting for those that's not going to bow down to this fiery image, be thrown in the fiery furnace, because they won't bow down to this image that Nebuchadnezzar had made of gold. Read.
Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up.
So all these nations, they fell down, bowed down to the ground and worship. Moses said, thou shalt not bow down and worship anything. That's the key thing. You ain't supposed to make nothing and then bow down to it. Let's take the place of the Most High. Go ahead.
Wherefore at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews.
Here come the Ethiopians. That's who they are. That's who the Chaldeans are, the Ethiopians. Here they come, these Hamites. They came and accused us, the Israelites. Read.
They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image.
Right, say, hey man, you made a decree that everyone that hear this music, king, they supposed to bow down to this image that you have made. Read.
And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
This is how the enemy is. And it's no different than it is now if they have opportunity. Go ahead.
Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy powers, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Yeah. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego say, hey man, we ain't bowing down. These, who are they? Let's go back to Daniel's 1 and 6.
Daniel chapter 1, verse 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, and Ananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Azariah, that's their Hebrew name. But the names were changed in verse 7, as they always want to change our name, like our name's been changed. Read. Verse 7.
Unto whom the prince of the Enochs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael, Meshach, and to Azariah, Abednego.
See? So they changed their names. So these names that we're looking at of the tribe, they were of the tribe of Judah, Jacob's fourth-born son. And when you look at verse 12 in Daniel the 3rd chapter, read that again.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy powers, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
There go some snitches. That's all there was. Bunch of snitches. Snitching on them. But they are the enemies. Read.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
Brought them before the king. Read.
Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my power, nor worship the golden image which I have set up?
Say, hey man, you don't worship the golden image that I set up? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? What's up with you? Read.
Now, if ye be ready, at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hand?
See? He said they're going to be cast into this fiery burning furnace. He said, who is the God or the power, who is your power that can deliver you out of my hands? You know, that's how much he thought of himself. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Woo. See, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our power, not the power of these idols that you have set up or that y'all believe in. He said, hey, is your power able to deliver you out of my hands? Yes. They said yes. So what they said, yeah, we ready to go into this fiery furnace that you're going to put us in. And the Most High going to deliver us. Read.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy idols, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Right, so they ain't going to do that. Exodus 20 and 3. That's the law. Going all the way back to the law.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3.
Read on.
Thou shalt have no other idols before me.
That's right. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
That's what Nebuchadnezzar did. Made a graven image. Read.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am the Most High thy power, and make jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That's right. Because he said, if you love me, you got to keep his commandments. Now here it is. Now it's time, when the book is closed, to apply what the law says. And that's what they're doing. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as he called their names. Go back to Daniel 3.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh yeah, he got fury. He got mad as ever. How you defy me as such? Read.
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Woo. So heated 7 times more. than it was wont to be heated, man. That's 7 times the normal heat that the furnace would be at. Read.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
So he got his mighty men. He got the most mighty men to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Read.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right. So they had coats and they had turbans on. They had mantas, or like we have our head wraps, on their heads, on their hats, and their hats, it says. So a lot of men don't even realize that we had certain things, headpieces that we wore all the time. And they had these on, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Go ahead.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That furnace was so hot, man. It killed the men that threw them in there. Killed them. That's how hot it was. Read.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Wow. So they fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace, man. Go ahead.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astounded, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
Say, hey, we cast 3 men into the midst of the fire. Read.
They answered and said unto the king, True, O king.
Yes, O king, this is true. O king Nebuchadnezzar, we did cast 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, into this fiery furnace. Read.
He answered and said, Look, I see 4 men loose.
So I see 4 men what?
I see 4 men loose.
But the soldiers, the mightiest of soldiers had bound Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But he's seeing 4 men in the fiery furnace loose, without any chains or anything on their bodies. Read.
Walking in the midst of the fire.
Doing what?
Walking in the midst of the fire.
Walking in the midst of the fire. 4 men, not 3, but 4 men, loose, walking in the midst of the fire. Read.
They have no hurt.
And they have what?
And they have no
They
hurt.
have no hurt because they believe in the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High.
The form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said,
Remember what he already said. Is your God able to take you out of my hands? Your power able to take you out of the hands of Nebuchadnezzar? I am the king. He came in front of the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and said what?
And said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High power, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads singed.
Woo. The fire had no power over them. This is our power. Showing off, man, showing. But they believed in him, man. What did they say? Look what they said. Verse 17, man.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 17. If it be so, our power, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Hear that? They said it. You got to confess it with your mouth. You can't doubt. Did they doubt? No, they didn't doubt. And read on. Verse 18, they said, and if Most High don't want to deliver us, read.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy idols.
It says Most High don't deliver us. We still not going to bow down and worship your idols. Because it says what? Thou shalt not bow down to them and worship them. Go ahead.
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
There it is, right there. They're following the law. Go ahead, back to where we were at.
Verse 27. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their clothes changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Ooh, that's a heavy spell, man. It say the smell of fire was not even on them. Nowhere on them to be found. Read.
Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any idol, except their own power.
There it is right there. He gave homage to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right there. You're never going to find Esau doing this. You don't say nowhere in the Bible where he's living at. Read.
Verse 29. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the Most High of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort.
You believe, man. You see that? That's why, come on. They're going to be in the kingdom too. As our slaves, but they still going to make it. You know what I mean? And they're going to learn from what he's saying here. You know, he said there is, look what he said. He said, therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language will speak anything amiss against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill. That's going to be for the toilet. That's where their house is going to be. Whatever they have that's waste, that's what their house is going to be. A doo-doo hill. Read, because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort. Read.
Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.
There it is. There it is. They held fast to their moral laws that the Most High told us how we have to be. And they did not deviate, whether it's going to live or die. There's many case scenarios of that. You know, that happened with us. And with that, we're going to conclude